This is Binks, and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path. We're continuing on in the fourth case of the game, The Forgotten Turnabout, and Part 1. Well then, please show it to us. What were the traces left at the crime scene that led me to deduce the culprit is the conductor? Traces left at the crime scene. Deduce the culprit is the conductor. This? Conductor's clothes? I'm kind of... Traces. Blood stain? Oh, of course, that makes sense. To hide the storeroom. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like, huh? The culprit purposely left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime. It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom. So we wouldn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct? Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could have only been the conductor. Well then, do you have any idea as to who the conductor might possibly be? The auction hall is at the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there is a storeroom above it. The conductor must have been at the very least a member of the PIC, which we said earlier.
So, in other words, you suspect me, I take it?
Isn't it natural to suspect you, the one with the most authority in the PIC?
Objection.
Uh-oh.
You are quite capable. I'll give you that much at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I'm the culprit, you see. If, by some chance, you do have evidence, then why don't you present it?
Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit? Unfortunately, I don't think so. Not right now. Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows that there is not a single piece of evidence left behind to incriminate him.
If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edward. Just kidding.
I always wanted to say that, you know. I said that about you, actually, so that's gonna be you soon, hopefully. We can get ya. Watch you go down in flames.
Well then, Courtney.
I reckon I just remembered something too.
Huh? You also lost your memories?
No, that ain't it. Something just popped into my head right now. Very well. Please tell us.
Objection.
Courtney, could you tell me what you are doing?
My job? Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I'm destroying every possibility so that he will never oppose us again. Interesting little, interaction right there. Edgeworth is thinking that too.
Justine, I don't really know what's going on, but well said. Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong. Fine, then. Let's hear what she has to say.
Well then, Miss Hart, please proceed.
Sure thing. Just leave it to me.
Please make sure you only tell the truth.
Ain't that the matter, of course? I'm a bona fide journalist of justice, you know.
Somehow I feel uneasy.
Oh, I wish I would just like screenshot this image right here and send it to people who have not played this game. But it would be kind of spoilery because she's there. But it's like I would send this like to Coco and be like, "What do you think it's gonna happen in the next game, which you have not played?" And she's gonna be like, "Oh no, it's Lana."
Somehow I feel uneasy, a sense of dread.
Y'all saying the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now, here's where it gets a mite strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued after the incident, I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below.
You don't mean...
That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, present and accounted for. You never said that before.
What? Are you sure about that?
You sure? I'm sure. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder. Was it a ghost? You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know. Were there really no changes in the auction at all?
Really, I'm telling you, the auction just went on like normal. Ah, but there was one itty bitty thing though.
What was it?
You know those hammers you always see at an auction? Like the one that lady's using over there?
Oh yes, my extendable, my large extendable, gavel. An auction gavel, perhaps.
Yep, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. It'd just been banging away just prior to it.
Sound of the gavel. Does that have anything to do with the case?
It has to. Okay.
If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. If the victim was neither the conductor nor a customer, the very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning would collapse.
Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you learned your lesson, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, there really is nothing we can do.
It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, then Kay will be... Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, a deal's a deal. Hold it!
Oh, hold it. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is still too early to make a judgment.
Hey, Courtney, okay. You trying to make up for all the BS you've been causing us since you started in this game.
There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout, "Hold it," like you always do.
Yes, you beat me to it. Of course.
Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid.
Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left?
Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report.
That kind of thing. I brought her in!
Oh, finally.
Oh no, I have to voice these.
Well, alright.
What's wrong? Why are we suddenly called here? Does someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing a compressed stat. Ouch! What you call me here for? Did something happen?
Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax.
Tell me what in blazes is going on?
Of course. We called you here because something came up. Judge Courtney, just what are you planning? Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct?
Granny would never make a mistake.
That's certainly strange.
Huh? What's strange?
This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth or I'll hit you. I don't care how old you are. Did you falsify the autopsy report?
That's terrible. How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place?
To protect the true culprit, of course.
What you talking about? I would never do such a thing.
How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into her statement like you normally do. Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there.
Wait a minute, I didn't do anything.
That is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony.
Why do you want to hear her testimony? It would be pointless.
I will be the one who decides whether or not it is pointless, not you.
There are patients waiting for us. But Granny, ouch! Anyways, we don't have time for this.
Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please try to finish this quickly. If you don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering. All those people needing injections. Ah.
I know that's all you care about, Karen.
And yet you were lollygagging about on the viewing platform earlier.
Oh yeah, they were up there, weren't they? Just taking a chill pill? Maybe it was their lunch break? I don't know.
I promise you, this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course.
Alright. Error in the autopsy report. Oh, my phone's ringing. Hold. Alrighty. Error in the autopsy report.
There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch! I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. Is what she says. See? There's nothing strange at all.
Yes, that's right. You know, there's no way she would falsify it, you see.
Under the name of the Goddess of Law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth?
Of course, Granny would never tell a lie.
We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party.
I'm not a third party. I'm on Granny's side. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd best prepare yourself, you ex-prosecutor.
You definitely exposed the contradiction in the autopsy report.
Okay. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports.
So you're saying there is no way Dr. Young could have made a mistake?
Of course, doctors can't afford to make mistakes. This is a world where just one misdiagnosis can end a long career. I know that my granny, at least, would never... If I did something like that, you think they'd still let me run a hospital?
Okay. Multiple corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way. Big mistake. Why'd she hit her at that moment?
The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head, and yet there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem.
Well, that's... ouch! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning.
What? The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different.
Ooh. Yeah. I relayed to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
Relayed to Karen. Please elaborate on that.
I relayed everything to Karen. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
But... does that mean Karen screwed up then? You have to look at... she needs to look at it, I think.
Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes.
I'll read it out for you. Ouch!
Oh boy. Karen, what have you done?
This autopsy report wasn't written by me.
What? What do you mean?
Uh-oh. Oh! Abuse! Abuse!
I don't know. But Granny, I can't say that.
She should have brain damage from getting hit all the time.
Miss Jensen, if you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then... in place of the Goddess of Law, I shall hear your confession. Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down.
Was it just a simple error, though?
Wow, she mimicked her voice perfectly.
Binks isn't even bothering to try.
There was no need for her to go that far, though. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen.
Oh,
I knew she was shady. Always wanted to inject people.
With that, we've proven that the wound on her head came first, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report?
hold it.
Oh, hold it.
Hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know. She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. Post-mortem and antemortem sound kinda similar, you know?
They are complete opposites. That is the very definition of falsification.
Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Hey! Ouch! I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that? Granny, but
Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it.
I can't say. I just can't say it.
Not I don't want to say, but I can't say.
You're all a bunch of bullies, you know.
Takes one to know one.
Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She's totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for one tiny mistake.
That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies?
Huh? What are you saying? You see, as a former prosecutor, you have to speak a little more clearly, you know.
Very well. As you wish, I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case.
She was an accomplice. Aha!
Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit.
Ouch!
This girl is an accomplice? What's your basis for that claim?
It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least 2 people. Namely, because
This is about the whole number of people thing.
if the conductor was the culprit, and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident.
What now? You got a problem with my testimony? Lada, this is not about you, honey.
None at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony. That's why an accomplice must exist.
So, you still won't admit that your reasoning is wrong?
Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murdered auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11.
Oh, I see now. So that's what you're thinking. But you know, wouldn't that have been just quickly discovered?
Miss Jensen, the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim?
I wouldn't.
Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me, who was the true culprit?
I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ouch! But Granny, I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything. Good. Granny!
Oh my god! Haven't seen a breakdown in a while.
As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice.
Miss Jensen, why?
Well, we will find that out in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye.